Parclo, or partial Cloverleaf. They're great, and I'm sure most of you good people watching here will have one in your city already. They're a great choice for a service interchange, and there's plenty of configurations to choose from. The next logical step when looking for an interchange would potentially be looking at a full Cloverleaf. This would typically be used as a system interchange to connect a couple of highways. The weak point with the Cloverleaf, however, is the weaving issue caused by traffic entering the highway via the loop immediately prior to the exit ramp on the next loop. All of that lane switching causes backups when the road is under heavy load, and this is the reason I usually avoid building Cloverleafs. I don't need to tell you how well or not this game handles traffic switching lanes, so I try and avoid it where I can. What I've come across today introduces a novel design. This is the Free-flow Parclo. As you can see, there's only 2 loops similar to a traditional Parclo, and this design only calls for 2 additional bridge sections. This one also benefits motorists by having only right turning exits as well, and these are all very well and good for real life scenarios and real life benefits. Crucially for us, playing a city builder, there's no weaving sections in this interchange, so we're not going to have the same problems found with the Cloverleaf. This design is based on a civil engineering master's degree thesis submitted by a gentleman called Han Tao Zhong. I hope I've got the pronunciation correct, apologies if I got that wrong. It's titled Free-flow Parclo Interchange versus the Cloverleaf Interchange with CD roads and the all-directional 4-leaf interchange, a comparison of geometrics, construction cost and right-of-way requirements. Well, I ain't reading all of that, nope. But if you're interested in this kind of stuff, I'll leave a link in the description for wee boots. What I'm interested in, however, is the design, and can we make it work in Cities Skylines 2 and without using mods? The answer is a resounding yes, so let's get into the tutorial. To kick things off, we'll draw out the highway, then a second highway perpendicular, but at a height of 10 meters. Draw in markers at approximately 300 meters, except the top highway section. You'll need more space to accommodate the underpasses later on, so draw that in at 400 meters. Let's start on the bridges and the first loop. Use the one-way highway, pull out from the raised highway, not too close to the lower one, pull out at 90 degrees, then again another 90 to create a bridge section at a height of 10 meters. The section should be about 65 meters in length. With the 2-lane, 2-way highway, create another bridge beside the first one, leave a gap of about a road's width. For the first loop, we're going to create a quarter circle from the right lane on the 2-way road, then complete it using the semicircle. So curve road tool, 50 meters down, 50 meters across, 90-degree angle. Next, select the continuous curve road tool, pull straight out the ramp, left click to start, then with this angle showing as 180 degrees, simply attach it to the highway road. Then correct the traffic direction, and let's downgrade this section of highway to 2-lane, and that will help with the lane maths. You might prefer a longer section of 2-lane here, feel free to adjust. For the exit ramp, we'll pull out of the left lane of the 2-way road. Now here you can play about with the angles, you don't have to follow exactly what I'm using here, but using the curve road, I've pulled straight out 74 meters, 79-degree angle, and a further 66 meters out to get the outside curve I liked. To complete the curve, I've just used the complex curve here. I'm going to pull out 45 meters straight out, 90 degrees, 51 meters out at that 90 degrees, and then connect into the highway where the 3 lanes start again. Let's extend this exit ramp. 80 meters here will do the job, and I've reduced the height down to 2.5 meters. I've hooked up the ramp going straight out 50 meters, then extending another 50 on the curve. Let's sort out that traffic direction again and straighten things up a little. Okay, back to the loop. Upgrade a section or 2 of the lower highway here to 4-lane, and we'll upgrade the outer loop to 2-lane 1-way highway, just the part that we used to complete with the complex curve earlier. From the lower 300 marker, we're going to run a parallel road from the highway as close as you can to the highway itself. Use a length of 100 meters. Do another one, length of 50 meters. Now delete the markers leaving this section I'm showing you here. Upgrade the highway to 4-lane after the 300 marker, and just curve the ramp into the highway using the curve road tool. Finish this off by connecting it all together using a simple curve and guideline to the outside loop. I was looking to have a similar off ramp as the one further down the road, but I end up changing this later on in the video. Didn't come out as nice as I thought it would look, so we'll revisit this one, we'll rejig it and we'll make it look a little bit better later on. I made an absolute shambles of putting in my 400 meters marker. I put it in squint, so I ended up just having to bulldoze this and rebuild the highway section. You shouldn't have to do this if you're capable of drawing a straight line. A simple task I seem to be incapable of doing. Upgrade both highways here to 4 lanes. On both sides, we're going to pull out a 2-lane highway. Use a nice tight angle of 11 degrees or as close to it as you can. Reduce the height down to 6.5. I've used 56 meters on the left, 64 meters on the right, for no particular reason to be honest. But don't stress about the exact lengths. You're going to have to use a little bit of your own judgment to connect these in a minute. So if you use your own measurements, it'll still be pretty straightforward. Let's connect the first of these ramps. So upgrade the outer highway section here after the 300 marker. Bump it up to 4 lanes. Now grab the 1-lane highway and with the curve road tool, find a guideline and complete the ramp into the outside lane at the appropriate height. Pretty straightforward. From the 2-way bridge, pull straight out with the 1-way road again, hit the guideline and then just connect to the inside lane. Done. For the inside bridge that we took down to the ground earlier, just do a simple curve. 50 meters, 90 degrees, 50 meters. Bring the height down to 0 meters. And if you find that your upper highway pillars are getting in the way, just delete the highway, draw your curve in, and then just rebuild the highway over it. Okay. On this 2-lane down ramp, I absolutely had to delete the highway here, so I pulled straight out from the inside lane. Here I've used 144 meters, degree of 109, and then another 92 meters. If you've used a different ramp length or an angle earlier on, it's absolutely fine. Just use your eye and shoot for something that looks a bit like this, and make sure that you can get the highway back in, and we'll move on to the next part. Now this bit does require a bit of judgment on your part. We're just looking to curve this round and point it as directly to the highway best you can. I've pulled it out straight, 35 meters, 119 degree, and along a further 32 meters. If you're not happy with your curve, just delete it and redo it. To complete this section, you just need a simple curve from the raised 2-lane road, load it to 0 meters, and snap it straight in. Once you're happy with that, just go and adjust the traffic directions. So onto the loop on the other side. Upgrade the highway to 4-lane again here. We're going to use the same technique as we did earlier, so quarter circle, semicircle. So create a quarter circle, 50 meters straight along the highway, 90 degrees out and 50 meters out again. Grab your continuous curve road, load it to 0 meters and just complete it as a semicircle. Now correct the traffic direction, then downgrade the highway after the curve to a 2-laner. To complete this quadrant, select the complex curve, pull straight out from the last remaining ramp on the ground floor, 100 meters, 90 degrees, pull as far as the highway, then pull straight into the extra lane you created earlier. From the other side of that complex curve you created, find where the curve starts to straighten out, round about here, pull a little marker out. Upgrade that section after that marker to a 2-lane highway. Then, from the outside lane here, a simple curve with hitting the guideline, straight into the outside lane here on the 2-lane, nice and straightforward. The final quadrant has a single curve road. Pull it out from the outside lane on the highway, pull up to the raised highway and just connect it as you would do using the guideline. Give yourself some extra length on the approach slip roads. I'll leave the details up to you guys. Do what you think's appropriate. One little adjustment, and I mentioned this earlier, I didn't like this ramp connection, so I'm going to delete part of it. I'll redraw the curve from the ramp end. This curve won't do, so let's create a couple of markers. Pull straight out here, and then just redraw a simple curve, and we're good to go. That's much better. Let's have a look at it full flow. Really cool design, this one. You could look at that traffic going around for hours. Thanks so much for making it to the end. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and comment. Always helps the channel get discovered and recommended. And I got a couple more videos for you here. Check them out. Thanks very much, guys. Cheers.